Hey, it's Joanne from No Guilt Mom, where we help you feel less guilty about everything revolving around parenting. Everything. Hey, today let's talk about what happens when we see anxiety in our kids. I know that when we see our kids worrying about something that they shouldn't be worrying about, we often feel helpless as parents. We don't know how to give them relief from that anxiety and that fear without completely negating their feelings. For instance, if my daughter is worrying whether she can wear her school uniform or not, well, actually, this is a whole free dress day story. She didn't know if it was free dress day, and she was worried about wearing her regular clothes instead of her school uniform. And this was she worried about it all morning and asked me about it maybe 5 or 10 times that morning and just kept worrying and worrying. And it's not like I could say, oh, you shouldn't worry about that, and the fear automatically goes away, because that doesn't happen. I mean, how many people have told you that you shouldn't worry about that? Does it help? No, it doesn't help whatsoever. In fact, when someone says that to me, I kind of my anxiety ratchets up a little more. I start thinking, oh my gosh, they're not worried about this. Don't they know how embarrassing this could be? Don't they know how humiliating this can be? Why aren't they worried? And my worry level goes from a 3 to an 8. So that whole telling people that they shouldn't worry about it, it doesn't work. So what does? Well, I have been to a lot of counseling sessions in my days. I first started seeing a counselor after my daughter was born for postpartum depression. And after I saw how beneficial it was and how much it helped me, I've gone back every time I've gotten into kind of my depression funk. Because you go in and out of depression. But one strategy that my counselor taught me was called circular thinking. And it's a whole process that our brain goes through when something happens to us, and it's our thoughts that give us the anxiety, not the actual event itself. So let me give you an example of how circular thinking works. So say you are in traffic, and you got into a traffic jam. Maybe there's an accident at the intersection, and here you are waiting 10 cars back from the stoplight, and you have this important meeting to get to in 10 minutes, and you're definitely not going to make it. So you start telling yourself, oh my gosh, I should have left earlier. Oh, how stupid am I? Those thoughts cause even more anxiety over this whole situation that you can't control, and which isn't even worth worrying about in the first place. How do we stop this circular thinking though? Well, there is a technique, and I've given it kind of the acronym SIMS. S-I-M-S is what you need to remember. And here's what you do. S stands for situation. What is the actual situation that happened? Are you in a traffic jam? Did your child start yelling at you for no apparent reason whatsoever? Did your mother-in-law comment something about your shoes? What's the situation? And then we go to I. How did you interpret the situation? What did you immediately start thinking when that happened and that caused your mood to change from happy to anxious and stressed? So one time my kids were yelling at me. Just because probably, I don't know why, who knows why kids start yelling, tiredness, hunger, any of those. But instead of looking at it, oh, they're just yelling at me, I started thinking to myself, oh my gosh, they wouldn't be yelling at me if I was a better mother, or if I had put stronger boundaries, or if I had been more organized and gotten dinner ready in time. And those thoughts are what caused my mood to change from happy to ready to explode with anger and just irritability and stress. So that I stands for interpret. How did you interpret the situation? The M stands for mood. How did that interpretation make you feel? When I told myself that I was a bad mom, that I should be more organized, that why didn't I have my act together, my mood dropped. It became one of I want to eat everything I see and go sit on the couch and cry. That was my mood. So the last S of Sims is the most important. It stands for story. What can you tell yourself instead that is more helpful than that first interpretation? So instead, I could be like, my kids are hungry. They're really tired from a long day at preschool. They have these like unrealistic expectations of when dinner should be ready. All of that stuff. Stuff that is probably more likely going on than me being a bad mom. So the story you tell yourself, you pay attention to, how does this new story make me feel? Well, when I tell myself that new story about my kids being hungry or they just have a long day at school, I feel this weight go off of me. I feel more relaxed. I know I have no control over that situation, and that is okay. My kids are free to feel exactly how they feel. So Sims help me a lot, really change the way I think, and it can help your child who's anxious and worried change the way they think as well by just paying attention to the thoughts that enter their head and really changing those thoughts, being very intentional about changing those thoughts to something that would make their mood feel better. So come in and visit me at noguiltmom.com. While you're there, make sure you sign up for the 5 survival secrets for every overwhelmed mom needs. Trust me, guys, these are my lifesavers. I don't know what I would do without them. Remember, the best mom is a happy mom, and I hope you have a wonderful week. I'll talk to you soon.